Welcome back to the Umuco podcast with Alex and Dydine.
Hello, everybody. Today is our episode finale of season 3.
Yeah, last episode of season 3, we're so excited. And we have a fantastic guest, don't we?
We do, from Cyprus. And we get to learn what your name translates to, right?
Yeah, well, what's her name?
Her name is Alexia Vassiliou.
Yeah.
I hope I said her last name properly.
I don't want to attempt it. But she is a stupendous woman. Stupendous woman. She talks to us about her upbringing in Cyprus. What has happened in Cyprus. We know with the Turkey invasion and a lot of real stuff. A lot of stuff that I think it pertains to what's going on today.
And her music.
And her amazing voice, her amazing career in music. She talks about her time in the industry a little bit. And you did mention a little bit that my name, Alex, right? She did talk to me a little bit.
No,
Alexandros, I think.
Oh,
yeah,
Alexandros.
It's great. And she really makes me feel good about myself. It makes me feel...
Dydinos.
Yeah, the Dydinos as well.
No, I'm just thinking it.
Yeah, but Alexia, she's great. We had a great time chatting with her. She's a good friend. And
Yeah, it's a wonderful interview. Please go ahead and listen. And if you have questions for her, please go ahead and send them our way on our social media platforms, our websites. You can find our email, info@mutuallove.org. And we will get you your answers.
All right. Enjoy the episode.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us your time and having a conversation with us. It's wonderful because you're born on the other side of the world. You're in New Jersey now. We're all in America now, but I'm born in Africa. You're born in Cyprus, and Alex is born in Texas. But the world, I know, it's 3 continents together. Coming together.
3 continents, one heart.
One heart, I know. Coming together and shared our commonness, pretty much. Yeah, so we appreciate you.
I do too, my dear Dydine. Ever since I met you, the beautiful household of the
film Israels.
Yes, exactly. So ever since, you were in my heart, and I look forward to returning to LA so we can all spend time together.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
In my heart immediately.
And you will meet another Alex.
Yes.
Sorry, and
you
yes.
will meet
Now I do the math. It's like, who's the other Alex? But I get it now.
I was wondering, Alexander. How you say your phone? It's Alexander.
Alexander. Yeah.
It's my real name. In Greek, how would you say it?
Alexandros.
Oh, now you know.
Alexandros.
And in ancient Greece, there was no baptism. There was onomatothesia, so which means that they would assign a name to a newborn baby, and they would assign the name that meant something that the parents wanted his path to be. According, for example, Alexandros is Alexander the Great. For example, the warrior, what's the last one example? The conqueror.
Conqueror, right?
Conqueror of these. Valentina is
she's good.
History. Me, not so much. So they would give the name who would characterize the quality of their life. So one would be Kleon, which meant glory, or the other person would be leading men to finding themselves. Socrates means a person that knew the inner self, the in, esoteric, Socrates. So each person has had their own special name, which meant something. Now, Alexandros, from what I read, because I love to read about the words, meant a person who leads, Andres means men. So a person that leads the men, but also, okay, Alexikeravno also, and the verb Alexo, it's a verb, Alexo is a verb, which means I attract and repel at the same time. That's why we call the lightning rod in Greek, it's called Alexikeravno. I know it's very difficult. Which attracts only to repel. Now, in the case of Alexander the Great, we can continue some other time if you like, because I think I'm taking up the time speaking about.
That's okay.
But the names are fascinating. So
yeah.
And Dydine, does your name have a meaning in your?
No.
I
only gonna make the meaning of it out of it.
Yeah. Does it mean happy or?
No, actually, as you were saying that in Rwanda as well, my last name, Umunyana, that's the name they give a child to kind of, it's almost like a meaning of their life, how their life is going to look like, how they're going to, yes. So my last name means someone or something that you see once in a lifetime and it brings you luck. It's like a lucky charm. So that was how also they used to name children back in Rwanda. And then they'll give you a nickname or they'll give you the name, but your own name, we didn't have a family name. A family name is the name they just give you, but not because it's your father's or it's only your journey on earth, your personal journey on earth. That's how, yeah.
So if there is another not commonality, something that we have in common, and you are that actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
I tried to walk through what my grandma put.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, accurate. That is very fascinating though, and I was eating all of that up. You're giving my name more importance for me, and I was like, oh yes, I see this in myself as well. So yeah, I would love to revisit that at some point.
I would love it. I would love to send you some more information. And yeah, of course.
Yes. But I guess now on to
You're gonna start?
Well, yeah, we do have our questions off to the side here, so we'll be glancing occasionally. But so growing up in Cyprus,
yes,
what was that like culturally for you? Was it a fun time? Was it challenging? What was that like for you?
Well, before up to the age of 10, when the war happened, it was a pretty good life. It feels, from what I remember, like as a pretty good life filled with cousins and aunts and uncles and family friends around. We would walk to each other's house without a phone call, without texting first. We just knock on the door, just enter. Something that we wouldn't do now.
Yeah.
Easily. And it was just, we would walk to the beach because Famagusta, my hometown, was known for the beautiful, like velvet-like sand and turquoise waters, safe from currents and undercurrents and fish. It was just a beautiful, pure, pristine place where we enjoyed thoroughly. People would enjoy, the Famagustians would enjoy their life there. For example, my mother, my parents and my uncles and aunts would work from 7 a.m. in the morning until about 1, and then they would go to the beach. And eat there, relax, and then we'll go back to work. Whoever, it was just an easier life. Yeah. And then the war happened, and then everything changed, my dear Alex, my dear Dydine. And just life became hard and not good.
No.
And just everything. And then we had to really go full circle to approach that beauty and the purity that we had then. I was 10 and now I'm 56, I think. I keep adding a year, but yes, 56. So yeah, still trying to emulate, to reach that state. I think I am at it now, of peace, that's peace, tranquility, and calmness. And that's why in my life I try to, the word calmness is, for example, just try to recreate that beach through various through music and through the people I choose to have around.
Right.
So I don't know if I gave you an idea. Culturally, you said though. Sorry, I went to different. Culturally, it had quality because my mother, Famagusta especially, was a cultural center for Cyprus. There was classical music along with the traditional music. There was ballet, there were festivals. There was a lot of music and the arts and theater, a lot. And then when the war happened, everything stopped.
Yeah.
For those who don't know about the war in Cyprus and how Cyprus looked like before and how it looks right now, because now Cyprus lives in the consequences of that war. Pretty much that's how you ended up growing up. Would you please, if it's not hard for you, give us a little concept of where those conflict came from and how the war came to happen, and of course affect everyone you knew?
Thank you. Well, yes, there was a Turkish minority. Okay, the invasion happened from Turkey, the country. So Turkey invaded my island, Cyprus, in 1974. In July 14th was a coup d'etat. On the July 20th of 1974, Turkey invaded very early in the morning. It was around, I think, about 5:36 in the morning. We woke up by the sirens of war. My mother came and woke me and my sister up and said, "Girls, wake up! We have war." So the feeling of the sirens, and then you don't know, and then the airplanes started to let off bombs. So I remember distinctly that my father was fighting, was at war with my uncle. And my grandfather, my grandmother, my sister, my mother, and my aunt were trying to find a way to save ourselves from the bombs. So a friend, family, just saw us. They were driving to go, of course, save themselves as well, find a safe place. They took us. I don't know how we all fitted in a tiny car. And that's what I remember. So yes, Turkey invaded to save the Turkish minority. They claim, of course, because, there was a dictatorship in Greece. And then the dictators caused a coup d'etat in Cyprus as well. So in mainland Greece, there was dictatorship. Before it was dissolved, they caused a coup d'etat to overthrow President Makarios. So that was what triggered all the events. Yes, we had a coup d'etat, and then the first phase of the Turkish invasion. And then on August 14th, there was a second, August 14th, 15th, the second phase. And then I never saw my house again, my hometown. We had to just completely flee and never to return until today. So yes, in a nutshell, this is what it was. And in the concert where you participated, my wonderful Dydine on human rights, another Turkish Cypriot girl participated. We did a duet because, we don't hate anybody. There's love, of course. We want to live in peace. And there haven't been. We don't live in war on a daily basis. There's a silence. I mean, the Turks always, of course, the Turkish government finds a way to provoke, but we don't. We're peace-loving people. This is the thing. We haven't created wars, whereas now Joe Biden, the U.S. president, as you've heard, has I forgot the word.
Has recognized genocide for Armenian genocide.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know. That was something that was lingering for years and years.
It was substantial.
Oh my God.
And, you know, I realized that a lot of people didn't realize how big of a deal that was. Mm-hmm. And it really, for me personally, it because of the work that we had been doing, Dydine, and the amount of people that we've spoken to, you know, about foreign you know, genocides, things that most Americans generally wouldn't know too much about. It hit me on an emotional level just because I understood, you know, at least a fraction of the importance of that recognition. Mm-hmm. And I just wish that more people were better educated, you know, on you know, these matters.
Absolutely.
You know, that was the first thing that struck me.
Yeah, same. You know, it's very important because most of the time when the people who oppressed you, they're still in power. Mm-hmm. It's and other powerful countries or nations are not. They're, you know, kind of afraid of recognizing the horrors that they've done. They keep doing the same. So the cycle is always there.
Exactly.
I've met a lot of Armenian young kids and how they know their story and how they take it. Yeah. It just, you know, so it's very important that we recognize these errors and mistakes and unlearn them. Right. And otherwise we're gonna.
That's true. And also with accountability. Yeah. You know, that's.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If we're not accountable for what we've done, what we've taken part of, then how are we ever going to truly heal from that thing? Yeah. You know, it could be the same thing. You know, it happens all throughout history. Yeah. By not acknowledging something as the truth of what it was, then you're taking the importance, or you're stripping away the identity and everything that had come before away from the people who had been oppressed. You know, my first thought is the indigenous people who lived in North America now, right? We are just now starting to be able to tell those particular stories. And we're giving life in those voices back to those who have had those things stripped away from them. So the same thing goes for acknowledging these genocides and these horrible atrocities that's happened all across the world.
You couldn't have said it. I mean, you both spoke so wonderfully, and you mentioned all these people that have endured such trials. And it was basically ethnic, and Turkey has been doing it for years. They did it to the Pontiacs, the Greeks, genocide, to the Kurdish people, genocide, and to the Armenians. So they are. It is not a one-time thing to this country. They've been doing it for many eons, and because of the power of their army, no government has been able to stand up to them. But Joe Biden did now, today. And this recognition, this acknowledgement, is very well, Alex said, is very important to have so many Armenian friends. They're like family to me. And also we have Armenians living with us in Cyprus, because Cyprus is a mosaic of cultures. So we grow up with people from different cultures, and we consider them ours, and they consider us theirs as well. So it was of paramount importance, this acknowledgement today, even today. And and Alex, I think we should do to make people know, to make this what you're doing now, I think, is very significant. And this is how we educate people for things that they need to know to help them with their lives.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, because I believe there's something you said, like you do with Ribi. You say Ribi? Your movement,
Ribi.
The movement you've started.
Ribi.
Thank you. You said it perfectly. Thank you.
Taking a stance, for human rights, and you're choosing to do that, and you are a singer. You're an incredible musician, singer, and using every tool, everything in you to take a stance. It takes me to when Joe Biden did that, that's also taking a stance. Do you believe we all have that capacity in us to take a stance?
I believe that we all do. And I believe that we all need to find it, to recognize it within us, because life becomes meaningful then, truly meaningful. When you use your voice to support others people's voices or their story that needs to be heard. I think by taking a stance, by showing our support, whether it is to one person or to 10 or to 1,000 or to, makes our life, has made my life worth living more than anything else, really. And it has actually brought me back to my voice and to my singing in a different way. It has connected me in a more profound way, because I didn't like just singing, especially before when I was in Greece, singing about lost love and about sorry about the noise.
It's okay. It's okay.
We're in a household, so
that's okay.
Well, his mother, so
that's okay.
She's like, cut it off.
They're all very discreet people. It's just the phone doesn't stop for something, but nobody uses it really, because we use our cell phones.
All right, yeah, the landline. Landline, right.
Thank you, Alex. Alex is just very
I was going to say, just pull it out. Right.
You just please.
That's what I would have done.
There's one thing that's called a plug.
Valentina.
See, a lot of young people don't know what a landline is, and that you could just unplug it and then magically nobody's ringing you anymore.
Valentina stopped it because she's very sensitive, so I'm sure she just immediately wanted it.
She's gonna like you. She's like,
that's okay. I'm not trying to point fingers. She did the right thing. She knew what was going on.
What I was saying then is that before it's like you strive to become known or to become recognized or to receive accolades, or just I didn't like just changing beautiful dresses and singing on stages. It's nice, but I didn't like it, so I stopped singing for a while. I was searching for the reason. I didn't want to sing in places where people needed to drink, for example, to enjoy. And at one particular nightclub, the woman said, "I'm sorry, we can't, we have to give you a smaller fee," talking about musicians in the band, "because you don't make people drink." But that's how we make our money. Was with the other Greek singer, people drink until 5 a.m. I said, that's they shouldn't. That's a good thing. I said, I shouldn't be singing here anyway. I said, thank you. So I left because I want through music to make people connect with themselves and with each other in a different way. Yeah. And once I found that what I do has the power to do so, especially if the intention is there, then the whole performing live and making albums thing changed and became what I wanted it to be.
As you're just saying that, did you always wanted to be a singer? Like, when did you know that you can sing and it's your passion and that's is going to be your life career?
So yes, when I was, I think 3 or 4 years old, I remember distinctly my parents driving, and the late radio would be on, playing songs from radio, and up in the back seat, we didn't have seat belts then. I mean, we were not forced to use. So it's like, how was I sitting there? Yes, I was sitting behind my parents in the middle, between the two seats. And I would sing harmonies to the radio, to everything that the radio played. So I guess I knew, but then I didn't know that I wanted to study music. I wanted to study psychology and linguistics, and which I both use in what I do, psychology. But I didn't. what happened to was the defining moment was when I sang, representing my country at the Eurovision Song Contest in 1981. There were two women, me and another woman, and two men, and we sang. And then I said, I realized that this would be my path. But I wanted to study. So I was fortunate enough and blessed to have parents who supported my music and my love for music, and they loved it too. So they sent me to study in Boston at Berklee College of Music, a beautiful, one of the most amazing schools for jazz. And it changed my life, really. And I'm still in communication with them.
Yes.
And what I realized, my dear Dydine, is that one of my previous projects that I did, because I like to do conceptual concerts to have a meaning, as we said. So it was the untold story of women in jazz. And I realized while researching for this concert that the women that I was drawn to then, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday, Nina Simone, Betty Carter, usually women of color. I mean, I don't see that, but I said it so you can understand.
Yes, that's okay.
They were all activists. They were all activists. They had to be. But they were. And so by researching so I can sing their songs, and the more obscure songs, the ones that really showed to the audience what they were thinking and what they believed in. Those are the songs that I chose. So I realized that's Betty Carter would come to our school. And I will send you, if you don't know her, I will send you links afterwards so you can. She was my teacher. She was my teacher there. She never told us don't be racist. She never said that. She showed us. And she planted the seeds. I mean, I wasn't. I never was anyway. To me, it's like, but I mean, she wasn't telling the whole class, don't be this. She showed us and she planted the seeds. And later, even 30 years later. But the important thing is for us artists and for all of us generally, for example, I don't have anybody telling what to do in my work. I create the projects that I want and I make them happen with the help of Valentina, bless her. Production, I mean, true production. Yes, so I'm free to hear my heart, what my heart wants to sing about. And I'm free to be sensitive enough to learn, to educate myself, to travel, to eat with people of different cultures, to hear what they've been through. And then I want to become their voice. I want to strengthen their voice, not become, they have voice, but to strengthen their voice. So
use your voice to amplify their voice.
And they amplify
your
mine
voice
as well. So each other.
You know, that's true artistry, what you just described there. It's taking everything, you know, your experiences, the people that you meet, the cultures that you experience, and then using that as an influence, you know, to the work that you do, but also empowering other people to use their strengths. And it's all a beneficial relationship. And it's so interesting.
I have chills now. I have chills that you said that. Oh, both of you, you're amazing human beings. What you say, I mean, because this is like my hair.
Well, it's true, right? It's and true. That's something, because we're both, you know, all of us are artists in our own way. With Dydine's public speaking, book writing, documentary work,
and her voice,
and her voice. You beat me to the punch.
We're gonna compete. I'm kidding.
No, you can have a duet.
Joking.
There's no competition.
Chinese.
Uplifting one another.
I was gonna say let's but I'm horrible.
We'll do some duet. I mean,
but they call them duet.
Because of
the latency, right?
Latency.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
No. But So
yeah, we
acting.
interrupted.
No, it's okay. I was going to my own art with acting and being on stage and film and all that sort of stuff. For me, I saw how the connection within myself to my acting had started to get a little blurry, and I started to lose the thing that really gave it purpose and gave it myself, let me put myself into it. And, moving to Los Angeles, Dydine and I had talked about it a lot, but seeing the industry, sort of how it works and how it can be very business oriented. And a lot of times, if you're not careful, you can lose yourself and your own
Absolutely.
artist within the large business that it is. And so hearing you say that, it just reminds me of just how important it is to be present within your work and the stuff that you give people. And that's where the real magic happens. Yeah. That's where the world changing, the life changing things happen. That's where the real art comes from. Absolutely. And it triggered something in me whenever you said what you did. It's a beautiful thing, I think.
Alex, I loved what you said. I identified completely. I also went to LA to act and do something a few years ago just because I loved expressing in that way. But then when I saw, there's goodness, of course, but one has to be very careful, as you very wisely said, not to lose themselves. Yes. But by eating with people from different cultures, by hearing them, by hearing each other, by supporting each other, we're doing what they say, building a community.
Yes.
Building. And this can only inform our art, no matter what art this is, what our art form or our expression this is. And it can only make us better and also do something that's more meaningful. So we give each other power, we empower each other, but also it's important, to maintain our values and create our own projects. Why should somebody that's self-anointed director put words in your mouth that you would never even think of uttering? Or support stories that you disagree with. So I think it's important we create our own revolution, we continue empowering each other and create miracles. I believe that we can.
Create miracles.
Create miracles.
Beautiful and true.
It is. It's all those,
We will be led where we need to be led. It may not be where we thought we would be. I'm sure you understand what I mean. But it'd be better. It will be better. A better path. A better path. And everything that we really need, will come from there. Doesn't mean we have to abandon our dreams. That's what I mean. Yeah. We can incorporate other things in our dream, and it may take another path, but it will lead us where we need to be. Yeah, I'm certain. I'm here for you guys. Here for you.
That's beautifully said, and it's empowering, because sometimes when you have where you want to be and it's not happening when you want it to happen, you can lose hope or get discouraged. But knowing that it will get you where you need to be, that's very empowering. Yeah, it is.
Because my dear Alex and my dear Dydine, we see so many souls around us, whether it be famous singers or famous actors. They show us that it's not enough to be famous. We see it around. Oh yeah. I don't want to give, out of respect to them, any examples, but they die, or they, in many different ways, or their soul dies. So it's evident that it's not enough. What we see as attractive and glamorous and big, and that they succeeded and they made it, it's not it. It is not it. Yeah. So continue and don't be afraid. And this time, the in-between space while waiting to be famous is the most amazing of spaces to be discovered and to be explored. Yeah, I've been there. This is why I also waited for things to happen. They never did. Yeah. I failed. That's it. I'm getting. Nothing. Time is flying, and where am I? We all go through this. Even the people who we think that have made it, they still feel the same thing. So this is why we have to do things that mean something to us. everything, every collaboration, every dinner, every phone call has to mean something.
Yeah.
Because these are the foundations.
Mm-hmm.
They will never leave us. They will, yeah.
Yeah.
My God, you're so wise.
You are.
Yes.
Look at her face. She's
because,
like, what?
Because the things you're saying now are the things that we most people don't pay attention to. Like what you just said about every move you make, every phone call, every dinner table you sit at, every person you meet has to be it has to be meaningful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we don't think about it on a daily basis, but it's really important because I believe that we are all capable of changing each other's lives for better or worse, So with that, we're going to that phone call, to that dinner, whatever, with a mindful understanding that this is going to be meaningful. It's important. It's a good reminder. It's a great reminder.
You can remember that I've been in many situations, so now I know that when I was in those situations, then I thought that if I didn't follow through, my life would end or my career would end. But nothing really ends. Mm-hmm. If I mean, we see now that, thank God, the career of those people who were the evil ones, some of them of the industry, both in music and in acting, is ending. I don't know if I make, for example, nothing ends.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be afraid. We should just continue trusting ourselves. And nothing ends. What was? I mean, if we don't do what we don't want to do, it'll be fine. Oh. I've been pressed to sign a contract when I shouldn't have. Yeah. Because if I don't, what's going to happen?
Oh.
No, wait. If I had known, wait. I will sign when I'm ready. Because you are the ones making money on me still. For example, the record companies.
That's true.
You can wait a month until a month. Now, sign now. Right. I did it. I signed. Yeah. And now Valentina is trying to for example, my first record company, after I don't know how many millions of sales, that was Universal then. They never paid me, never. And I was a good girl, just struggling, to go and sing here and sing there and continue educating myself. I never thought that I should ask. So years later, when it was not right, because whatever in my life, I tried to do things that are beneficial for me, but at the same time for others. I don't want to take it away. No. Right. So when these are different conversations, so they can all wait until we're good and ready, and that this coincides with our own value system.
That's true, and true. And not forcing things, letting things flow through, letting life happen, because as we've all experienced. But I think a lot of us, this last year, with the struggles that 2020 gave, what became very clear to me, at least, I'm sure to Dean as well, is that life gets so much simpler when you just resist nothing. When you just let it flow, and you stop trying to fight an uphill battle or fighting upstream. You realize you're wasting so much energy on nothing. You're going nowhere very quickly. A lot of times anyway.
You're going nowhere very quickly.
Yeah. And so
very quickly. Oh my God. I felt that one.
It's true. And then you realize how fruitless it can be. And then so it's so much easier just let it flow.
You're going nowhere very quickly. Do you get it, that one?
Oh, sorry. I thought that made sense.
It didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. It does. Okay. It just really stays.
It makes completeness. My eyes are tearing.
Well, that's because it's the frustration. That's what came through, is the realization, like, oh my God, this is nothing. I had nothing to show for all this. Just imagine. You know, so.
I know exactly what.
Yeah.
Look, out of breath. Very quickly, you're running very quickly. Out of breath, you're going nowhere.
Right. It's like a hamster wheel almost. But in reference to being pressured, you know, feeling like you need to do something right now, or else what? Or else, am I gonna die? Am I gonna lose my whatever? No, you're making maybe a couple people upset or uncomfortable in the moment, but you know. What do you lose ultimately?
But not yourself for your lifetime.
Not
exactly.
For the rest of your life.
Exactly.
For the rest of your life, absolutely.
It's that mindfulness that you were just referencing.
Yeah.
It's essential. It's essential to have that as you move through life and whatever decisions you make.
Yeah, I'm wondering, as we're just saying all of these things, like throughout your life of, growing up and doing music, did music play part in your healing? Because I know that a lot of people hold on to those things. When you go through so much hardship, a lot of people hold on to those little things they love so much and they're passionate about, and it can save your soul sometimes, or most of the time. Was it something that, you know, helped you, you know, feed your soul? That's what because I feel like jazz, when you say jazz, I've been watching a lot of Nina Simone's the career. You see how transformative and how, you know, it helped express their feelings. You mentioned it earlier. Was it for you that way? Did it help you in that way?
That's a great question. When I was in the industry, in the heart of the industry, no, it didn't heal me. It healed others. From what I hear till today, it made them happy. It made them forget our problems. It made them fill their hearts with love, but not me. Mine was the turmoil. Oh, I mean, it wasn't but it wasn't until I stopped my contract with BMG ended after many years, and I began to create my own music, or to reconnect to music, not from the inside, but from the outside. The music became broader. The sound of the birds became music. The sound of the wind through the fireplace or through a cracked window became music. And so I began to record with all these elements. With the birds, it took me, I think, 2 years to record. I would go and listen to them. And they were so perfect that they didn't need my voice to improvise with. So the third year, I allowed myself, you know, it's like being in a choir or like in a dialogue. There has to be a time for you to express what you need to express, or you listen, hopefully. So yes, I recorded a voice in wind and voice and wind. I'll send you some tracks later to hear. So that's when my own healing began. When I left the industry and I created my own industry, my own, and what the genre of music, even more than jazz, that has helped me heal was improvisation, which was improvised music, which means stream of consciousness. This is what I found healing. When I was in Athens, for example, right before I left the industry, I couldn't sing, I couldn't write. I love to write. I didn't feel like seeing people. All I did was enter a particular room facing the Acropolis, the Parthenon, because I was a part of the collective, the building was there. I would go every day between 7 and 8 in the evening, and I would sit facing the Acropolis and I would sing. I had a beat-up microphone and a portable device called Marantz, and I would record just without thinking. And then the next morning, and that's what saved me, actually. And it was a silent dialogue with myself, a different kind of dialogue with my inner self. And the next morning I would listen to it by the computer. And usually whenever I would hear my voice back, I never liked it.
Really?
I never liked it. I kept hearing mistakes. Like I kept stepping on gas, it's like, or on brake. It's the same feeling. It's like, I should have done that differently. I should go to the studio and do it again. Because I wasn't telling myself the truth. So I could hear the lie. I didn't know it then. It wasn't who I am. But with improvisation, I would hear it back, my dear Dydine and dear Alex, every morning. And I did not have the need to correct or to edit anything.
Because it was you.
So yes, healing came afterwards.
Yeah. Because it was you. You could hear yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it was, I could hear, I was becoming basically what the industry directed, dear Alex.
Right.
Any industry. But I became me.
That's
authentic me, the authentic me, and an integral part of the whole. Right. I felt I belonged because the sense of belonging. This is what we all need to feel. I feel it, and sense of belonging everywhere, within our body, within our mind, within our profession, within everything. And one more thing that has helped me feel that I belong is my work in the shelters with unaccompanied minor refugee children and teenagers. I wish they didn't need to go through this, of course, but since they did, it is my great honor to have been there for them. This is what helped me belong. Leaving the industry, creating my own path, and then my work in the shelters. And after the children leave the shelters, this to me is the gift. And again, this is, I was trying to say earlier that while waiting to become famous or while waiting for dreams to be fulfilled, let us be of service to the causes that are close to our heart, though. I mean, there's needs from animals to older people. There's special needs. We find our own path, what we think we can do best, what is more true to us. The needs will never stop from all. So we find that, and we just offer ourselves selflessly. Yeah. And that's where it all happens. The gifts, the two concerts that happened, my online concerts for human rights. One was on World Refugee Day, and the second one, which Dydine participated in, was for human rights. It stemmed out of my work in the shelters. On nights that I was alone with 20 girls from Somalia, the Congo, from Cameroon, from Syria, and then the boys' shelter. I mean, I didn't know that this would evolve into something else. I was there to be with them. And then when they would leave the shelter, I would take the car with Valentina. I would go to villages, to communities to see where do they live? Who are they living with? Do they have food? Are they safe? So I forgot to sing for a whole year. I did not even feel like I forgot to work. And then I said, this is why I incorporated my music with this work, because this is what I do. I mean, I am a singer. I'm not a chef. I'm a singer, but I can bring them, and I can create change through this as well. So and then even today, 3 young men who I love from Ghana, from Cameroon, and from the Congo, just to see how I am on WhatsApp, with the greatest of respect. So it's Cherno, it's Maka, and it's Mamadou Traoré. So I don't know. That's all I need for them to be safe. And I wish I could give more. I wish I could create this, in every country, this huge building where they could, all these children, whether they're in foster care or in the shelters, because there's, after they become 18, they're thrown in the street, where I am at least. So I wish there was a transitional space, a safe space for them to be educated, to live, to have electricity, to have water, to have safety. I haven't been able to do that yet. But that's what I would like.
It will happen.
Yeah.
Where there's a will,
there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way.
Yeah. And if that's where your heart is, then your heart is already over there.
Yeah.
That just means you have to go, you have to reconnect with it, or you have to reunite with it, I would say.
Yes, and it's going to happen, because good work is never just goes unnoticed.
Right.
And I think with your work with the Ribi being incorporated into the schools in Cyprus,
you remember everything. Thank you.
I'm very, when you create something from nothing, and all you do is just for that good heart and the change you want to see, and you're just going hard, you're working hard, and then the work is being recognized, other people are learning from it. I feel like it's amazing that 10 years from now there will be graduates from from the program you started. You would be changing those children's lives, because if you didn't start it, it would never have been a reality to them. So it's so it's the same way with these kids in the shelter. That also will happen. It will happen. It will happen.
I pray they don't need it. They don't need me. But if they do, I want to be there. And thank you for remembering Dydine. So I don't know if for those who don't know, I offered voluntarily I materialized this vision I had. I wanted music to be heard in kindergartens, elementary schools, high schools, lyceums, and technical schools during recess. So my idea was for music to welcome all the students and the faculty. Early in the morning at 7 a.m., the schools begin in Cyprus. And then during the longest duration recess, the music is heard again. And then as they leave. We managed with Valentina to create a radio station, an internet radio called Ribi Radio, which is only for schools. And I work on my playlists it may take me 2 months, it may take me 1 month, because the songs have to calm me and to educate me in order for me to. So every song is very carefully placed, like the foundations of a house. So yes, and it's also an obligation to make music known to the youth, music that great artists through the eons have left for us, and children will know them. Nobody will know them in the near future. They will only know what the radio plays. And we all know what that is. This just manufactured nonsense to perpetuate the negativity of this. So yes, it was my own rebellion or offering to educate the youth, and also to make the music known of this artist through the centuries. So it hasn't managed to enter all schools. We're in the process of doing.
That's beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? Can you imagine getting in the school and there's this beautiful music playing?
As we were speaking, I was just thinking about, I wonder what happened if I was like a 10-year-old and I just came across this music. And, and that's interesting that you say it's kind of, you juxtapose your messages with positivity with the stuff that we usually hear that's pumped out through radios, just churned out, and it does have a particular
vibration,
right, or narrative attached to it. That's right. And so it's something. Wow, I don't want to get into it. I was thinking about like in Texas, like I wonder, would they benefit from this? Of course they would, but how would they? I was trying to be logistics, like, oh, how can I get Alexia, in Texas? I was doing some work for you in my head, but
thank you, I appreciate it.
Right. But it'd be beneficial nonetheless.
It would, yeah. When I was writing my first book, I used to go to this coffee shop all the time, every day from 6 a.m, and I would write until I get tired and then go back home. And one of the things that attracted me to that coffee shop was the music they played. It was very calming, and every time it was never too loud, but there was that music. Even when people were loud, you could still hear the music at the same time, and it was very calming. And I loved being in that space, and I was able to to write and publish my book. So I can imagine as a student if we had that opportunity, going into the school, and this positive calming,
bliss.
It's bliss. Yes.
Yeah.
How much we help the kids, to lower their temperament, or I don't know. I feel like it's we
need that right now.
Calm, because we don't know what environments they're coming from. We've all been there.
Yeah.
One way or another. So it's important you can't save all the children with one word, but you can send music to calm the spirits and empower them, hopefully.
Absolutely. Right. I love it.
I do too.
Yeah.
And I guess piggybacking off of that, working with young people, and you see kind of the trajectory maybe of the world that we are going to inherit. What are you hopeful for in terms of your larger world view?
I think I might have lost the last word you said. What are you hopeful for?
Yeah, what are you hopeful for the world?
I would say for the work that you two are doing, I think this is very, very important. But I'm hopeful for initiatives like yours, for example, and the ideas of many of these children or teenagers that they share with me. They want to change the world. We all know how this is, but we can all try, and changes do occur. I shouldn't be hopeful with everything that's happening in the world, but I choose to be. I choose to be. Because last week there was a great festival, online festival in Greece about human trafficking. And so when you think of the stories you hear and what a business this is, there's not much to feel hopeful about. But we have to find, because we're here, we exist, we have to initiate change, we have to contribute positively to our existence, to this place. So I don't know if I can tell you, my dear Alex, exactly, but I am hopeful. And I think what I said about what you two are doing, I think is very accurate. This is what will sustain. Today, you empowered me. Today, you strengthened my spirit. Both of yes, you did. Both of you. So then I'll go on and hopefully offer this feeling to somebody else, or to some people all over in Cyprus, or here in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I think just I'm hopeful, and we have to find people who are from the same tribe that we are. I think this is what will make us even stronger and help us retain this hopefulness.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question, my dear Alex? If I did, please let me know.
No, you did, absolutely.
You did.
Yeah. Now I was formulating a thought, but it's gone now. But
the first thought that came to my mind when you asked me this question is the environment, trees. This is speaking with. That's another love that I have. I've always had it, and where I come from, they cut trees as if they're twigs. They do. They cut them to make rows. They cut them because they're in the way. But the children that I'm speaking with, the teenagers, have different ideas. They love and they love and they want to protect the trees. This is something I'm hopeful for.
Yep. We didn't even speak about the planet beforehand, but obviously that's a huge focal point among most people, I guess, these days, but particularly young people. And that was something that comes to my mind as well, is the conservation of this planet. Because before we were speaking, Dydine and I were just talking about just how important this planet is. And without it, we don't even have a space to dream. We don't have a space to do anything, you know. And nature is objective, it's unbiased, and if you treat it poorly, it'll react the way that, you know, it'll give you essentially what you give it. So yes, the importance of the planet and planting more trees and sorry, there's a plane going over.
There's on a phone.
True. I'm just kidding.
And 3 motorbikes right behind.
They were.
I don't know, Los Angeles, just like but yes.
You know, on the other hand, dear Alex, I've whenever I would hear that the planet needs us, in my heart, I knew that it doesn't need us.
No.
It can go on without us. We need it. We are the ones needing it.
We need it.
This.
Exactly.
I know.
You know, of course, we got, by destroying, I think it will keep, what's the word? Regenerating.
Regenerate, But
itself.
Right.
That is something we
cannot do.
No.
So if we continue with the things we do to this, they're going to go.
We're not,
And this will vanish into nothingness.
Right.
If we continue.
That's
true.
I mean, they can shake us. It can just throw water, rain, waves, winds, fires.
You turn up the heat a bit. Yeah, exactly. As we know in California.
You're a comedian too.
It could shake a little bit.
Did you know that? Did you know that? Or is it coming out now that you're a comedian? You have this comedic.
Oh, well. No.
When he allows himself to let it out, he is a comedian.
No.
But
I think it's.
We all have comedy within us.
I think when he's very, very comfortable with someone, he can be really comedic, but he doesn't let it out as much as I would like for him to.
Well, life situations, you know. No, seriously, life has been ups and downs lately, but I try to appreciate where we are, you know, in life now, and remember the joy, the undercurrent of joy that we all have. Not just the happiness that we feel moment to moment, but the joy that is eternal, that is ever present forever. You know, and that's what I try to tap into. So you bring up.
This is amazing what you just said. The joy of happiness, profound joy that is lasting.
Right.
And the name Ribi means to connect. I forgot now.
It's okay.
Connect.
Where's Valentina?
Connect to lasting, to joy that lasts, lasting joy.
Right.
Have it with you always. So you just said it again. You're both connected and wise beyond words. Both of you.
She's so sweet. You know, I like her messages because every time I see it, because you start my dear Dydine, it always makes me so happy. It makes me feel like, I don't know how I can. So you bring that joy every time I see your message, and it's the way, you know, you carry yourself, the way you treat other people, the way you see people. I feel like it brings positivity, and
you have a very calming presence as well. This is obviously the first time we've met. You know, I've heard.
I feel that I've known you for a long time.
That's why I'm like
greatest compliment. Oof, I like that one. But yeah, me too.
There is. I don't want to be taking your time. Look what you did, both of you. I'm crying.
We already asked our last question. This is just for us having fun. Yeah, this was joyful, and
absolutely.
I loved everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're friends forever.
We are.
Yeah.
We are stuck together.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much for giving us your time and for the patience for the first 20 minutes trying to figure out the technical stuff. You know, it's never fun doing these Zoom things when you wish you could do it in person.
Yeah.
We'll work with whatever we have to work. Of course, I would have the patience. It was a joy. I mean, I was so excited to be speaking with you, both of you. So there's no problem. And if there's anything else you would like me to say, or if is everything okay? Is there something else you need?
Oh yeah, I think I think we're good, right?
I think so. Yeah. Well, our last question was your lasting message, but I think you actually
with hope,
and that was you wrapped it in very nicely, like a beautiful present.
But you can also give us a message. Maybe
sure,
that's fine.
If you want to, that sounds good.
That would be okay.
Sure, why not?
A message you love to leave us with.
Yeah, or a piece of advice.
A piece of advice, yes.
I think what I said earlier is just to create our own path by ourselves, and not to be afraid, to trust ourselves, trust what we love, trust what makes us happy, and who makes us happy, and we should be near the things that inspire us.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think this is it. I mean, no matter what we're promised, the world and treasures, and we should just eyes on the prize. Remember what really inspires us, and I think the rest we send to trust ourselves. Really trust ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. We will always remember that.
Yeah,
I'm here for you.
Oh,
for anything you need, I'm here for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much
for the joy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. This was amazing. What did you think?
I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. She's very funny. Very funny.
I know, and very calm. Peaceful.
And so, and what we talked about, you know her. I mean, you've known her for years. And I had just met her, recently, The
first time I met her, she was singing Blackbird. Oh my God, she was incredible.
Why you wanna fly?
Blackbird.
Blackbird.
Blackbird. Ooh, we came here and sing. We should release
we'll
an
give
album.
y'all an episode of just us singing.
This was very insightful.
Though. It was very insightful. But more than that, it was soul nourishing. It was. She's very she can get very deep, but without it being like overwhelming. I guess it would be overwhelming for some people. But
she is also, she has a very peaceful soul. Yeah. And she puts you at ease. You guys, it's an audio, so you can't see, but she had beautiful flowers. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Our Zoom call was, she was very relaxing.
Very prepared.
Yes.
Yeah. And we just had a lot of fun. This was a good way to wrap up season 3, I think.
Yes, I'm really happy that she was able to do this with us. I learned so much, and she gave me hope for the humanity.
And that's what it was, right? That's what we need, is hope. We prescribe hope here at the Umuco podcast. That's kind of what we do. It's kind of the main thing. Yeah. And
hope for humanity.
Yeah.
Things can seem tough, and we can lose hope in humanity, but hey, there's a lot of good in the world.
There is always good in the world.
Even though the bad is louder, but there's good.
There's more good than bad. It's just that the smaller amount of bad, or the bad, which is smaller than the good, lesser than the good, is louder than the good.
Yeah, but we can keep
amplifying our voices.
Yes. Yeah, it's a wrap for season 3.
That's a wrap. Thank you all for listening to us.
Thank you so much for being with us for season 1, season 2, season 3.
For 3 seasons. And y'all just been listening to us. And
we're going to take a short vacay. Is that how they say?
Short hiatus.
A short hiatus. Yeah. Vacay sounds more LA.
We can call it vacay.
For our, season 4. we're gonna go and work on it, for you guys. It's gonna be incredible.
We're gonna be in the lab putting in work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Stay tuned, stay healthy, stay positive. We love you all.
Yes, we do. All right. Bye.
Bye.